Greetings and welcome back to Stellaris, my United Nations of Earth playthrough. So, the state of the Empire. We are currently in the process of constructing a sensor array or a sentry array site over Abriri Prime. It will take quite a while, several years, for it to be completed. Other than that, we are still in the process of reinforcing our fleets. We still have 16 ships to reinforce in our fleets. We should get the Science Nexus unlocked this year, and I believe we will also complete the last Megastructure this year. Yes, in about 6 months. Our last ruined ring section of Cybrix Alpha will be restored. Do I already have the colony ship en route? Oh, Sol Station isn't the shipyard anymore. That is correct. It is Earth Station, which, yes, the colony ship is just about completed. But yeah, we will be getting all of these technological advances. We'll actually finally have synthetic workers. Now, once they become synthetic workers, they should no longer be freely displaced by the other pops because they have equal rights. The Senate is voting for security contractors, but it'll be several years before that vote comes to fruition. Once security contractors come up, I can create a mercenary company. I will have to disband one of my fleets to do it and lose a general. We should also get another tradition. We will get more unity output with our defense armies. So the enforcers all produce defense armies. So that means the enforcers, in effect, will produce unity, as will colonists. As far as our planets, well, we're finally getting the auto-curating vault up and running on Earth. Earth is at the extent of its jobs. This does not add an additional job. I don't believe there are any further upgrades I'm going to get that are going to add jobs here on Earth anymore. Unless I upgrade the orbital ring to add more district slots. This Earth does produce about 350 energy credits from technicians. I could shift that over to minerals and turn Earth back to a mining world at some point if I have a nice surplus of energy. We have been having difficulties with them displacing the technicians, but oddly enough, the synthetic people I've been creating who are better at unity and amenities have no problem displacing the people who are in those jobs. Storm is building a stronghold. It will still be able to upgrade that for additional jobs once it is completed, but I'm not going to do it next month. I'm going to go ahead and wait until April before I worry about that. It did have a miner over here in the clerk slots, and I actually transferred it off-world before I figured out the solution to the problem, which I'll explain in a little bit. Euxena is building a Ministry of Production because it has a decent amount of industrial districts. Other than that, it will be having no more additional jobs. It has its full technicians here, and everybody else is working as a soldier. All the clerk jobs are available right now. But yeah, it is slowly replacing entertainers up here and freeing up specialists who are either going to demote or move off-world. Nueva Cadiz is producing another set of commercial zones. Now, it can upgrade for plenty more jobs on these. The commercial zones will provide 3. The upgrades provide 4 additional jobs. So it will have plenty of jobs. Now, I believe it was here. Yeah, the farmers had been displaced and were clerks. Now, the way to solve this problem, when you have people who have displaced your farmers who are not as good as your farmers, what you do is you prioritize the clerk job. And then as you start closing the clerk jobs, it will dump out the robots first. After you have done that, deprioritize it before restoring the jobs. And then you have to have available clerk jobs to be able to, and enough available clerk jobs to pull out any civilian workers that were in those slots. And that's kind of how you can get your robots back to doing what they're supposed to be doing. Almada'in is building a hyper entertainment forum to upgrade the Holo Theater. As you see, I've gotten rid of the gene clinics, and on the first few worlds, I've gotten rid of the additional refineries I had been building. It does still have an additional slot that I can spend on something. It already has a Ministry of Production, an alloy foundry, and a civilian fabricator. And it has a Ministry of Culture on it, plus the fully upgraded Autocathon series. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to use this additional building slot for. I might throw one bureaucratic office on here, but that's kind of a waste just throwing one. So I am not sure. It's either going to be a commercial zone, or I might actually throw a resource silo on here. Resource silos, they only provide one job, but they give you 10,000 more resource storage capacity in every category. And so it might be a good idea, since I have one available building slot, to use it for that, if nothing else. I mean, I could throw a military academy on here so that I can churn armies off of here. But commercial zones is about the only other decent alternative, I think. Blizzard is getting another industrial district. It still has a little bit of room for expansion. After I get that, since it already has the alloy foundry, the civilian fabricator, and the Ministry of Production, it's got a few fully upgraded research labs and the hyper entertainment forum. For its final slot, I will probably build yet another research lab. Although amenities, when I get the additional jobs from the industrial districts and this, amenities might be a little low at that point. So this might be one of the worlds where I add an additional Holo Theater and upgrade it to hyper entertainment forms, just to keep everybody entertained. It depends on how my amenities are looking. I'm going to hold off on that building slot until I get the last district, and then get an idea of it. It's pretty much just producing the synthetic people now. And as you can see, I did my best to kind of maneuver around so that it has the miners working miner jobs instead of clerks. Avalon has very little room for expansion. It's building yet an additional research lab with its final slot. It had decent amenities because I believe it has... No, it did not. It had decent enough amenities despite that, because it was a fairly small planet. So it's not going to have a humongous population like... Well, Blizzard actually has less population. But it has more amenities being used. That is interesting. Odd. Usually it's the population... Oh, it has more clerks. Yes, it has more people currently working clerks. So yeah, when this one fills up the clerks, yeah, I should be able to do an additional research building here, because as the clerks do provide a little bit of amenities, and they should keep it kind of topped off. But yeah, that's the difference, is 5 additional clerks over here is about 10 more amenities. The Ultenia is building an Autocathon monument. It did not actually have one yet. It still hasn't reached population of 50 to get the final capital upgrade, and I have not done Mastery of Nature on this world. I haven't done it on Avalon either. I've not done Mastery of Nature, so it will still potentially have room for more expansion. I will be getting, the last 2 districts will be agriculture, of course. New Jamestown still has plenty of room for expansion, and it is currently upgrading to a system capital complex. It will be adding more generator districts. I have just enough districts slots left right now to get all of the generator and all of the agriculture. That will leave none for industrial. So I may not actually bother with Mastery of Nature on this world, since it will have all its resource productions, and just getting like 2 additional industrial districts is kind of a waste of slots, because I would need 3 buildings to support those 2 to give them make them as good as industrial districts on other worlds. So you don't have to do Mastery of Nature on every world. Only the worlds where it would actually give you something of value. And I don't believe 2 additional industrial districts are something of value to put on this world. Although I could dedicate it, I would have to pull it off of Mining World, which I don't want to do because it has both moat harvesting and crystal mines, to dedicate this to be either factory or alloy production, a forge world or a factory world. So I don't really want to do that. Now I could give up the 3 agriculture districts to have 5 industrial. That is a possibility, but then I would need 3 building slots to support that, and I would much rather dedicate this to more research and just have it producing raw materials for my worlds. And it still has not filled out all of its technicians, so I still don't have all the technicians working and still have a decent energy credit output. Nozomi is building synthetic crystal plants. I decided with this world, since it has poor quality minerals, it had 3 slots I really wasn't going to be making use of in the end. I decided to keep the exotic gas refineries, put a synthetic crystal plant, and with the last one I'm going to add a chemical plant. So it will have a refinery of every type remain on this world, because it already has its full industrial bonuses from the civilian fabricators, the alloy foundry, and the Ministry of Production. All the remaining district slots will go to industrial districts. And I had highlighted or had focused farming because it kept trying to pull the farmer droids up to be culture workers. Now, and also since it is currently upgrading to, adding a synthetic crystal plant, it's going to pull somebody up. I would rather it pull one of the people down here in the technician slots, him, who is less effective at being a technician. I would rather him be the one that's pulled up rather than one of these. Civilian industries are being built on Shangri-La. Shangri-La still, this is where I transferred a lot of my miners and harvesters, and I still have a harvester working as a miner for some strange reason. So let's see if we can get our little... Okay, now he's back to being a farmer. So now that that is done, we want that guy to go to mining. There we go. I'd also like that guy to be a miner. And look, it pulled the damn harvester out. Go figure. Yeah, let us refocus this. Pull that out. Re-expand the jobs. Unfocus clerks. Focus miners. It should pull the people who are better at mining down here. And then close out a few clerk jobs to fill out the farmers. and then restore the jobs. And that's as long as you have available jobs, you can kind of shuffle around like that to kind of fix the problem. But it does get tedious, and you don't always get the most efficient person in the most efficient job. But I've decided to stop producing miners and farmers here and kind of fill up the entertainer slots, because it also, I had to close out the 2 enforcer positions because it kept pulling the harvester bots up to be entertainers. Now, once you get these guys built, since they are better entertainers, they will fill the entertainer slots and stop the harvesters from promoting to fill up those slots. I'm building another generator district. That is my presidential mandate here at Xinjiang. I was going to start focusing on mining, but I decided, since my presidential mandate was generator districts, I'm going to go ahead and finish the generator districts here first. And it does not have all of its technicians yet, so it is actually still producing technicians. This is a kind of a small world, and it's getting close to being full. I'm going to keep these mining districts until I get some off-world mining and get my minerals up to a higher level. Then I'm going to transfer all of these back to generator districts, so this will be a one-resource world. And right now I have a mineral purification hub. It will eventually get replaced. I'm not doing any construction here because it's going to be a while before it gets another pop. This world is fine right now. But the technician and mining slots are all full. So I do not want to produce more of those robotic workers since they get displaced right now. The Nueva Sonora is building mining districts. I just filled out the last 3 districts with mining, even though it does need 3 more city districts. Right now I need the minerals, so I was going to do that, and then I'll transfer some of the agriculture districts over there, or when I do Mastery of Nature, I'd only have to lose 1 agriculture district basically, which is not even being used right now. So after I get this last mining district, I might go ahead and shuffle 1 over for now from agriculture to city. And then when I do Mastery of Nature, which this planet would be one of the priorities, I can get the final 2 city districts. Akatsuki is one of my mining worlds, and it has room for expansion. It's going to need 3 more city districts, so it'll have about 3 industrial districts until I do Mastery of Nature. Then it could get up to 5. Its mining slots are all full. I was still producing miners here, but I believe I'm going to go ahead and swap that right now to the synthetic people to fill up the upper slots. Now I have this focused because I do have available metallurgist jobs, and it kept pushing the miners up to be the metallurgist. I did not want that. The only way to really fix that would be to close out all of these jobs so that there are unemployed regular people who will promote up. But I didn't want to bother with that right now. Winzhou, also not doing construction. It's going to be fairly quickly before it gets popped, but it is extremely fast. It takes about 4 months, a little over 3 actually, to churn out another generator district, which is the next construction on here. So I can wait another 3 months before I start that construction. And again, I had the issue where it was pulling the technician robots up, so I currently have this as focused. My 2 habitats have reached the extent of their upgrades, so they're just filling out population, so I'm not bothering doing distribute luxury goods on them anymore. It's building its final building, and it does have workers to pull up to fill those jobs. Until I get another upgrade to the habitats and can get an additional building slot, this will end up with only 5 refineries. Now that is a reason to kind of focus your refineries and have them like all be the same type, so making this all gas refineries. since it is, I couldn't have one of each until I had an additional slot. If you don't have perfect multiples of 3 available slots, you can't really do one of each. So it might be a good idea to focus, but that will have to wait until I get a 3rd refinery station up and running, so that I can have one that did chemicals, one that did exotic gas, and one that did synthetic crystals. For now, I'll just find ways to make the combination work. St. Pomeroy likewise is working on its final refinery. San Lucas, I've gotten all the buildings I need right now till the population grows a little bit. I went ahead and replaced the original research station I built for now with a robot assembly plant. We have a heritage site and a hyper entertainment forum because we are going to need amenities. And we just have one research segment for now. And we're already starting to fill out the people here. Same with Al Nuquara. Nuquera? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It has the exact same setup for now. As these get up to a population of 10, I will be able to upgrade the building, and that will allow me to add a research institute to each of these. Mars is in the process of planetary prospecting. It is currently doing mining for me because I need the minerals, although it does not currently have miners, so surplus miners that get displaced, synthetic miners, will be transferred here. That will help boost the population to the point where I can upgrade the capital. Baffin is doing planetary prospecting, but I'm still going to leave it untouched in the hopes that I can make it a resort world. St. Yegorov is 1 year away from being fully up and running, at which point I will need a research segment and the same building layout I have on the other ring segments. All of my ring worlds, I believe, are going to be research. So I'm really going to be pushing my research astronomically. I could do an industrial segment, because that does provide quite a lot of artisans and metallurgists. But in order to do that, I need a much stronger mineral base. And as you have seen, I have a very poor mineral layout in here. Maybe if I'd gotten habitats sooner and gotten some mining habitations developed sooner, it might have made a difference. But that's the current state where we're at, so we'll proceed onward and see what happens. One other thing I forgot to mention before we proceed onward, the United Uvaric Pact does not allow, it is in a, they are subject without independent diplomacy, so they cannot do agreements with me at this point. So while I can continue to raise relations with their current contract with the Tillinesti Hive, they cannot have their own treaties. So they're kind of stuck that way. Now, I would like to get to doing a little bit of spying in the Prime Awareness, but that's going to take influence. Now, we should be done within about 1.5 years of turning the Hazar Commonwealth into a bulwark, which will free up additional influence. In the meantime, I need to continue expanding my hyperlane network, and mainly this part of it. When I get these last 3 systems over here, there's a mining drone expansion fleet passing through my territory here. When we get these last 3 here, we will get a connection all the way to our subject's capital there. Looks like they have finally completed down to here, so when I get Azroth, Birkenmar, and either Breglar or Kahinis, I will have a connection all the way to the capital of my other subject. And then I can proceed to continue this way to get to all the way to Kazoo so that I can have rapid response should these guys attack me. And continue down south here to get to Almac for the same reason, and to give me a connection all the way to the capital of the Kel. And that's going to take a chunk of influence. Each one of these is 25 influence to make, so the 3 I have remaining, that's 75 influence right there. And another 75 over here, so there's 150 influence. That's 1 habitat's worth of influence just to connect to my 2 subjects. And that's not counting the connections I have to do down this way, and the long connection I have to do down this way. And in addition to that, I still need influence for masteries of nature, as well as the next, or the habitats. So yeah. League of Brian States broke their commercial pact with the Alvathari. Interesting. Oh, and I did send off another agreement. It should pop up here shortly. There it is. We are doing a research agreement with the Commonwealth of Man, and I believe there's one for the Darbalins. A commercial pact invitation for the Darbalins. We are trying to use diplomacy to influence the other empires to share our ethics. Yeah, and we have finally finished survey, or at least seeing the majority of the galaxy that we can. Like I said, the 2 spots we can't get to are the ones hidden in nebulas behind a fallen empire and a marauder empire. And as these guys are still my first target when I get my fleets up and running and decide to go full-on military. They've got 30k in fleets right there, and then another 15k in bases. So they have about a 50-something k. But once I get these fleets fully refitted again, since they're already up to about 15 or so, 2 of my fleets should be able to take the Tiyanki Matriarch. So I'm going to wait until a 4th fleet, I believe, is done reinforcing. As soon as it's... Nope, 4th fleet still needs a few more. It was 3rd fleet, I think, that was completely at full strength. Yes, it is at full strength. As soon as it gets its last few ships churned out, I'm going to start moving it over to Yilon, and 3rd and 4th combined are going there. And when I'm in the Haldus system is when I will contact the curators about the Tiyanki Matriarch. And this is a little bit of me using meta-knowledge, I believe, because this does look very familiar to a system where the Tiyanki Matriarch would be in. I do not know for a fact that's the Tiyanki Matriarch. I'm suspecting it, but I do know for a fact there's some form of Leviathan in there, and contacting the curators, they had mentioned something about the Tiyanki Matriarch as one of the Leviathans, and I have seen it nowhere else on the map. So that was just process of elimination at that point.
Research concluded.
Foreign soil enrichments. Extensive study into different soil types and their ability to support crops will help improve the living conditions of our settlers on foreign worlds. Well, nothing spectacular here, so we'll probably just go for the cheapest to get a reroll. Not really going to be making use of the Paradise Dome that often. So let's actually go ahead and knock out frequency tuning. That's a very quick one to get a reroll on. Now we can move Trick out of here since that is not New World. Oh no, we want to keep the New World Specialist in here. Why do we want to keep a New World Specialist in here? because it gives an increased chance for the ones that pop up to be new worlds. And I'm looking for the resort world one, which is a new world specialty. Synthetics. Highly advanced robots that are stronger, faster, and more durable than the vast majority of organics. With their upgraded neural processors, they are fully capable of independent operations. Now we will see if it keeps displacing. Oh, that is a good one. That is the final hull points for destroyers, the advanced one. And the Ripper autocannon is now locked down here, so I can put it off yet again. Yeah, let's get the advanced destroyer hull points. We do want to hold off on any weapon upgrades anyway, but yeah, anytime you get one of these rare techs, you kind of want to grab them because they have a smaller chance of showing up in the list, and most of the time they end up being dead-end technologies, which removes an option from the list. A new faction has recently been gaining traction in the internal political landscape of the United Nations of Earth. Led by Governor Karb, they call themselves Association of Higher Learning. Their members have been pushing hard for the advancement of sciences. So now I have a new faction to keep happy. They actually have quite a few people. The only thing we're missing is something I can't change a policy to get. That's dull edge. Staying ahead of the curve and not allowing any fellow empires to be more than equivalent in tech level will please Association of Higher Learning. So that means I have to get up to the point where the prime awareness is no longer superior to me. Nobody else is superior in technology to me, I believe. But other than that, we're getting a lot of great advancements. This is a materialist faction. Technologists desire an empire-wide embrace of scientific progress and the fruits of technological advancement. They dislike politically motivated bans on certain avenues of research, as well as being outpaced by other empires. And you see at 75%, they're only getting a faction-wide happiness of plus 5%. So if I lose the 10% from these guys by changing our free movement out, they would drop from a empire-wide 10% base happiness to 5%. So that is the big issue with the egalitarians, is there's only so many options and you can just barely get them to 85%. And apparently that is the same. It's not quite the same way with these guys. More options do pop up as other things pop up. And my science will be the cutting edge once the Cybrex Alpha is fully operational as a research location, and I start getting the Megastructure for the Science Nexus built. It will be really hard for any of the AI to compete with my science output at that point. A Federation committee is formed. An impartial committee of scientists and thinkers is gathering within our Federation chambers. Its purpose to serve the Galactic Technologist Alliance as academic arbiters during our upcoming leadership contest. Each empire will now assemble a team of researchers to investigate an issue, the findings of which should somehow benefit the future of our Federation. The teams will present their findings to an open forum. Whichever thesis study rates highest in innovation, scientific rigor, and coherence will earn its author's empire the right of leadership for the next term. So the thesis challenge is now commencing. At this point, it's going to look at our actual president and their traits, and the ones we have in the research divisions, and their traits matter. It also helps if you have a variety of traits. So it's level, the traits, and the variety of traits you have as well as what those traits are matter. Spark of Genius is a really good one, but if you have multiples of the same trait in there, it kind of counts against you a little bit. So if I had all of these guys being Spark of Genius, it would hurt me more than if one was Spark of Genius and the others had some more variety. Right now I've got a pretty good mix, but there's and they're all level 5 or 6, but there is a good chance that the Pirac may have better scientists because they are a Scholarium. So the Pirac may end up being the leaders of our Federation despite being my vassal. I am fine with that. I do not know how long it takes from when that announcement is, but that announcement was on April 10th. Alright, Mars is successfully prospected and we found a marvelous oasis. Makes it an even more... the marvelous oasis, I believe, is one that adds 3. Yes, it adds 3 agricultural districts. And then on Baffin, we found Orvane Cliffs, which I believe only adds like 1. Yeah, they added 1 max mining district. So, yeah, this would be a fairly decent mining world were I to make it a mining world, but like I said, I'm going to try and reserve it to be a resort world. Now, I believe it's not like the regular elections. It's not going to take like 3 months before the election is decided. It may only take a month. We will see. Hazar Commonwealth gave us a favor, or we earned a favor with them. Limbo. Technological advances. Following the recent advancements in the field of robotics, the scientific community on Earth is confident that we can produce synthetic bodies sophisticated enough to support a higher neurological consciousness. We could upload the neural patterns that were recovered from the alien vault discovered some time ago into robots and bring the aliens back to life. These are the same neural patterns that we made a copy and gave to the Fallen Empire. So we can either let them lie and get a huge engineering research gain by purging the neural scans from our databanks, or we can do the special project A Second Chance.
Situation log has been updated.
Now currently I'm 5 months away from that. This will only delay it a month. I'm okay with that. We could give an extinct species of ancient aliens a second chance at life by uploading their neural scans to robotic bodies. That will be completed June 2nd. So we are kind of playing God at this point and bringing an extinct species back. And if you watch any kind of scientific movies, that's always a mistake. That's the mistake they made in the Jurassic Park series.
The special project has concluded.
After many trials, the engineering department has finally managed to transfer the extinct aliens' neural scans to robotic bodies, and the results are exhilarating. The ancient aliens have fully regained consciousness and have expressed a desire to strike out on their own and rebuild their empire. Well, that's fine. If they want to go somewhere else and create an empire, now that I have given them life again, yeah, they can find a spot somewhere, I guess, to form a new empire. We won't stand in their way. We'll give them a ship, even. Frequency tuning. Adapting the Tiyanki method of siphoning energy from gaseous matter. It is possible to construct weapons draining energy from enemy ships. Speaking of which, this is the Tiyanki's main form of attack. It does a huge amount of shield damage and is weak against armor. So, knowing that, if you really want to be able to take on the Tiyanki matriarch earlier, abandon shields on your ships and go full armor. Armor and maybe a little bit of hull boost, but primarily armor. And you will actually kind of neutralize their main attack form. I do believe the Tiyanki matriarch does have one weapon on it that is decent against armor. So now, No, we still don't have the one I'm looking for. So we will knock out another cheap one. Other than Chemical Bliss, I have zero interest in it, even though it would remove it from the list. Looks like the fastest one would be Interstellar Campaigns. Not much benefit to my empire, but it will get it off the list at least. 3 months to knock it out. And I'm still going to keep tricking here. Due to the overabundance of happiness being spread by the Festival of Worlds, some of the event's organizers have begun to fall in love and settle down. Which planet? Earth. Yeah, let them stay. Now Earth will definitely be overcrowded. Did they displace? No. At this point, they are no longer displacing my droids. Actually, they're no longer droids. And actually, they still don't require consumer goods. But, yeah, they have full citizenship now. So they should no longer be displaced by them. So I can actually go back after I finish producing enough to fill up the entertainer slots. I could go back to putting the technicians down here who are more effective. See, they produce 20. They produce 20.8. Yeah, I'll hold off on the technicians. It's the miners that I really want to replace with mine. But yeah, they added to Mythvale, the Mythvale here with continental preference. But let's see if I... yeah, I can... No, it put the Azizian, who has Arctic preference, up there instead of the Mythvale. Why are the Azizians having priority over the Mythvale? I do not know. Now, one thing, since they have natural engineers, if I had a researcher job up here, a job that produced research, I could close out the job and reopen it, and they actually would prioritize the Mythvale to promote up and take that job, and that would end me with an unemployed specialist. But yeah, I will let them actually transfer. It says they're going to Nueva Cadiz. The Azizans are. I would actually like the Mythvale to transfer over to my ring worlds, because those are going to be research havens. And it looks like I may have been mistaken. It may take the full 3 months. Nope. It took 2 months. The Federation Committee has recognized our infallible reasoning in a study concocted by President Jag Naksheen on conversations across wormholes. She shall assume a most prosperous leadership for the next term. Now, it's only 10 years, and then we will have another challenge. So there is going to be... the chance that I will get rooted out, and I kind of like that. I don't want the presidency to basically be always run by a particular one. I want it to be up for grabs. But once I get my science output really up and start getting some technological advances and having higher level scientists with more traits, it'll be real hard to shake me loose. So changing it to a 10-year term over the 20-year term did affect the current term and brought an end to the Fire Tribes of Kel leadership, which needed to be done considering the mess they made of things, in my opinion. Now, I could change vote weight to diplomatic when I get to medium centralization. And I also want to change free migration, because that will free up a lot of migration packs. Yeah, if we made it by diplomatic weight, all of them together would be greater than me. But Yeah, these two, the Fire Tribes and the Hazar, could combine to be against me. The Pirac and the Fire Tribes could combine to be against me, but the Pirac and the Hazar, yeah, I think they just barely are greater than me. But it actually would make the Holy Gagassia mandates vote worthless. It doesn't. Theirs would not affect anything one way or the other. It would come down to us, the primary members here, as to what we decide. So I'm going to keep it as equal weight right now. There's no real point, even if I did get to meet him, there's no real point in making these guys have less of a vote. We are all kind of equal members, I believe. But yeah, we still need 1,600, getting 10 a month. That's 160 months. That's quite a few years. Let's see, 12 years would be 144. So yeah, this would just about be 14 years. Reports are coming in that the aliens, whose minds we uploaded into the robotic bodies, have colonized the planet and now style themselves the Awakened. So they colonized the Liril in the Forbidden Nebula over here. Oh my God, that was the biggest mistake they could have made. That was the biggest mistake they could have made. If you colonize a system adjacent to this fallen empire, it is going to go to war with you and destroy that system. So this brand new colony that just went up here went to the wrong damn system. They could have gone to one of these. They could have gone to... Well, I guess those went away. They could have gone to that one. Oh, I actually did miss a few over here in the Ergo-Praxo Kingdom. Where is my scientist? Let's go there first. There's no route for me to reach there. Oh, they have close borders, don't they? Ergo-Praknar. No? Okay, let's go there first. That will give me sight on that system and allow me to redirect and have a look around here before I head back. But yeah, they picked the wrong system. They're about to annoy the Fallen Empire and be destroyed. Our starbase in the Breglar system reports an Orlan Memorial Caravan. Okay, they
Situation log has
abandoned
been updated.
another ship in the Breglar system. I do have... You are not constructing anything yet, so you go research that project and then return here. And I just realized I have enough influence. I can go ahead and start my next hyper relay. After you complete that hyper relay, you are moving to the Pentarum sector, to there. Okay, Awoken has joined the galactic community. I still don't see their empire. They are erudite explorers. Unknown origin. Our base intel is 40. When it gets up to max, if they are still alive, we will see what they are like. we do want to immediately start, even though they may not last very long, immediately start improving relations with them. And let us pull the one out of the Holy Gagassi mandate. They're going to be improving just from being in the group with us, and they are that valuable an empire compared to others. But these guys probably won't last very long, unfortunately. We need a little bit more acceptance to establish an embassy, but yeah, I believe they're about to get wiped out by the Zack plot vestige. Yeah, I finally got the off-world trading company built. That will boost my trade output. Let's have a look. They are in breach of the Military Readiness Act. The League of Phemisto is. The Awoken actually has a decent diplomatic weight compared to some of the other brand new empires, so they must have started fairly advanced. And I do have the option to establish an embassy, form a commercial pact, and form a research agreement. I could offer them association status, but I need more intel to know. Now, this is one thing that annoys me. Why do I need intel on them to know what my allies think? That what my allies would vote. It should still tell me what my allies would vote on this. So, yeah, I'm not going to extend the association status just yet until I get the intel to know which way my allies will vote. But they are erudite explorers. They are a feudal empire, so they have an imperial authority, unfortunately. They agreed to the commercial pact. Now that my robots are actually synthetics, it does create a further problem, which is on the chances that they jump up to an area up here. Let's see, there was one world I noticed it on. Where was it? This one. Where I have technicians who jumped up to be culture workers. I can't easily get them back down here because they no longer instantaneously switch tiers. If I pull them out of this job, rather than auto-demoting instantaneously, they now have to demote just like a full-blown civilian, which takes time. So I will eventually have to displace them by building these guys. And also, this guy only produces 3.6. Let's focus this job. Close it out till my robot is free again. He's not free. Alright, close out the mode harvester. Alright, there was my robot. Okay, there we go. He produces 3.7, but next time I check this, he will probably have been displaced by this guy again. This guy does not do the job as well as him. I do not understand why he is constantly displacing them. Yeah, it's because these guys are serviles, I guess. They give that a little bit more weight than his 5% resources from jobs for efficient processors. But the servile has lower habitability by 5%. So because he doesn't have 100% habitability, he's getting a penalty that compensates for the fact he's got a higher bonus. Now, technically, he is the better person for the job when he has 100% habitability. So as I get more habitability increases, or if I can get them to repeal some of the things that are giving the penalties, like the regulatory facilitation and collective waste management, then I will be able to, they will actually be better for this job. Right now, if I close it out, it will put him back over here, even though he's doing like 0.1 less. I'm okay with that, honestly. because as his habitability increases, he will end up being better at this job than my robots currently. And that is another thing. I now have more options for my robots. If I go to create template, I now have logic engines, which make them good researchers. I have loyalty circuits, give them bonus happiness. And I have, I believe that's it. All these others we already had. So it added 2 more options, the loyalty circuits and the logic engines. So I can actually start churning out a research version of the robots for my research worlds. I am still going to continue with the ones that are better as entertainers until I fill up the entertainer slots for the hollow theaters there. And then I will design one, because hopefully by then I might have unlocked additional modification points so I can turn out much better scientists. And we'll be getting all of these fairly quickly. I don't think I've got the we'll have the alloys, or I don't even know where I want the science nexus yet, honestly. So the Awoken agreed to a research agreement and to the embassy. If we let it
Construction completed.
progress a little longer. Alright, the communications jammer has been built at Kazoo. I think I built them backwards. I think... Yeah, I put the listening post at Limsa. What I actually wanted at Limsa was the communication jammer. I wanted the listening post here. Well, no, this place doesn't really need the listening post right now. I have full view of all of their systems. So yeah, no, I did it right. And we have the final Ringworld segment now completed. So we have a colony ship en route. Let us cancel your orders. Well, I'll show you why I cancel the orders first. If I go to colonize, that ship is not available. It wants me to build an entirely new colony ship. If you check all of these, it'll all say build colony ship. Because that one has orders, it's not available. So I have to clear the orders of this one to have it available to colonize from this menu. Spring. Okay, I'll go with that. Habitat Section D, the final habitat section on Cybrix Alpha, is about to be colonized. It's still got some segments that don't look quite complete, but that just may be the design that separates them. It definitely no longer looks completely demolished and destroyed. That is the only thing in this system, is the ring worlds. Now, I don't believe, let's see, I have an available constructor somewhere, don't I? Didn't I send one to Kazoo? No. You are searching the ship. You are building something in Sibri. You are constructing that. There's a constructor. Let's highlight him. I'm just curious. If I right-click on one of these segments. Megastructure cannot be built on ring worlds. Cannot be built due to... I could build an orbital ring on a ring world. I do not habitat. I could build a habitat over and an orbital ring over ring-world segments. That is interesting. It's not restricting it from ring worlds. We'll have to see when I go get ready to build my next habitat if it is possible. But I was under the impression you could not build habitats over ring worlds. I guess I was mistaken. Should probably also go ahead and upgrade all of my patrols. That way, if I need to up the size of these patrol fleets, I can. It won't take too awfully much to upgrade these. It should be fairly quick, except where the construction queues are currently in use. But I could always go, when they get to the destination, go to the actual shipyards and bump the upgrade orders up.
Research concluded.
Science Nexus. The research labs and data banks of a science nexus generate an immense flow of raw, undiluted science. Alright, so planetary shields would be the cheapest one. We do have access to the particle lance now. The proton launchers. Particle lance is an X-class weapon. We don't have proton launchers on any of our ships. This would be the final laser upgrade. And this doesn't actually unlock another technology. What it does is it unlocks an upgrade for something else. I believe to be able to get the lance above the particle lance, you have to have gamma lasers. Let's go ahead and get the proton launcher, because I don't have that on any of my ships, so that won't affect anything being built or needing to upgrade. And it's one we can knock out fairly quickly. Now I can change this guy out for something else. I do have Tetrana. And before we head off somewhere, do I have an idle? This one, constructor. Let me see about the science nexus, if it has any sort of restrictions. Research lab and data banks of a science nexus generate an immense flow of raw, undiluted science. The hub and the research wings. It costs 5,000 alloys. I could get started on it somewhere eventually, but I don't have the alloys to test it. And I'm still not sure where I want the science nexus. I don't believe I can build it in Cybrex Alpha because it already has a megastructure in it. I really don't want to overwrite another potential location for building like a refinery or something, but the Science Nexus is pretty immensely powerful. It may go over a star, I don't know. I will have to see about it when I get the alloys to start producing it, since I do have the additional build capacity. I would like to get up the alloys to do it, but I don't feel like trading for the alloys right now. My resources aren't as abundant as they once were. So we're going to hold off on that. Plus, a lot of my constructors are busy. Yeah, it requires Unity to build megastructures. I wish it only required Unity to build
Knowledge
habitats.
is the key to the universe.
Interstellar campaigns. A well-oiled war machine is the key to exerting influence on a galactic scale. Backed by the might of our military, we can lay claim to almost anything we want. Once again, we do not have access to the one I want. Cheapest one is the Paradise Dome. Well, actually, this guy is New Worlds. Maybe we go with Manifest Destiny for more starbase capacity. I think so. It will take a year. Next month, we'll have the Destroyer hull points. That will happen the day after I stop and do my Empire management. Oh, and I need to keep an eye on the Noble. Alright, it's still a year out from the Arya system. Or Araya system.
Ship upgrades applied.
Yeah, my patrols are getting their upgrades knocked out fairly quickly.
Research concluded.
Advanced destroyer hulls. The latest generation of destroyer hulls have optimized structural integrity fields and improved bulkheads. Ah, there we are, advanced habitat. I believe that also takes influence to enact. Robot modification points. Tough choices. The advanced habitats may not show up again if I knock this out, but the robot modification points would be the fastest. I think I'm going to go for the habitat expansion. It'll take a year and a half. Alright, second fleet is fully upgraded. Fourth fleet is now at full strength. Second fleet is still waiting on a battleship, I believe. As soon as it gets the battleship, I can start moving it that way, and we can start making our way to where the Tianki Matriarch will be. Actually, how much longer do we have? It's Blorgsbane, not Panel. I was targeting the wrong one. We have, I'll do it in January. That's when I will start moving the fleet that direction. Got a favor with the fire tribes. Tuzekian Hive has declared Commonwealth of Man their rival. My consumer goods are seriously starting to dwindle.
Ship upgrades applied.
Yeah, I'm getting too many researchers and not enough, what is the word I'm looking for? Industry. I'm getting too many things that cost consumer goods and not enough things that produce it because I was trying to build up more minerals. That's a constant struggle.
A new world has been colonized.
Trying to keep your economy balanced. Yes, we are renewing our Curator Insight. We'll ask you about the mysteries of the universe in a bit. Alright, first thing I want to get up and running here is the robotics factory. Robot assembly plant. And when it's almost done, then I can get the Holo Theater and the Autochthon Monument started. And then I believe I do have... Yeah, actually the second thing I'm going to do is going to be the research segment. So that I would get the huge jump in both available jobs and housing. Alright, I don't think I have any other agreements to renew. I still have another year on the Arcane Deciphering. We have a Festival of Worlds going for another 4 years. And the Salvager Insight we will renew at the same time. So yeah, I believe we're good on deals. I don't have the arcane deciphering. Didn't give me an overall bonus. It unlocked a building I can put on a facility. So I believe I am going to go ahead and hit it as soon as it cools down. I think it cools down once every 2 years. Yeah, we're getting our research up to the point where we are advancing every few years. Either every year or the year after, we should have our techs at this point, because our research is at least a K in every area. And with this one having stored research, it's actually running double right now. And I believe we are getting a tradition this year. Yes, in about 3 months we will have even more Unity output. We're getting almost 3K a month overall. That basically covers our relic cost in 1 month. And I believe this year, yes, in 2 months, the Hazar Commonwealth will become our bulwark, and that will free up our influence again. Our gain will jump up to 4, almost 5 a month. That means we should have enough influence every 5 months to build a hyper relay and proceed onward. But it takes a while to build these, because I still haven't finished this one. So, which is good for the delay it takes. That allows me to build up influence for other things in the meantime while they are constructing. I've begun the construction of 2 additional constructors, one to get started on the other megastructure or get in position for it, and the other to return to Caravan, because I want 3 on habitat duty, basically, because it does take a while to build habitats, and when I start getting the influence to go back to habitats, I want to be able to get habitats up regularly. For the science ship, I'm going to need a science ship for the 4th ring here. I'm building it over at Yelon because it is going to accompany the fleets when they proceed for the Yankee Matriarch to do the survey of that system and the research of the projects. Now, depending on how well
Construction completed.
2 fleets perform against the Yankee Matriarch will decide if I am ready to start going against the Marauders. Because I believe all 4 of my fleets combined, when they are fully reinforced, should be of sufficient level. They'll be about 50k, I think, altogether. Which reminds me, I have not begun reinforcing 3rd Fleet again. I'm down to just needing 8 ships and 6k. And it looks like... yeah, it's mainly the Corvettes that they're filling up right now. That will be all 5 of the remaining Corvettes. This one only needs 2 additional ships, which is the 2 remaining battleships after this. So it's going to be expensive to reinforce that final bit. 1st Fleet, I haven't really begun reinforcing yet. I can afford to reinforce a ship for 1st Fleet, one of the cruisers. And that is the cruiser I only needed 1 of. Yeah, that's the primary consumption of my alloys right now.
Ship upgrades applied.
Is going to be reinforcing my fleets. It only take about 2 months for all these constructors to pop out, and I should... it hasn't been a year. I should be keeping an eye out here to know when they are ready. Yeah, he's still got about 8 months, so around near July is when I need to start paying attention to him. I think I will go ahead and recruit a new scientist. Let's see who we have access to. A cyborg voidcraft. Okay, yes, we're going to recruit that guy. Go to technology. We are working on a voidcraft. 13 months remaining with this guy. If we put him in, it's still 13 months, and he will be gaining pretty good experience doing that. So we are going to replace Tetrana with Professor Zarg and stick Tetrana here, assisting research on this ring segment, even though it doesn't have scientists yet. Okay, something just churned out. The two at Blorksbane. Alright, so the Atlantic, we have the Atlantic and the Pacific. What a coincidence that the two that turned out had matching names. So the Science Nexus, I believe I am going to put near New Jamestown. It's going to be yeah, we will put it where in the orbit of New Jamestown do we want it? This is a lone, solitary, frozen world. So we will enter orbit of that world and put it there. The Pacific is going to Caravan 5. And that should mean my science ship is also... No, my science ship apparently is a little bit behind. That's right. This area has a retired admiral as the governor, doesn't it? Yeah, so it has a little bit more build speed. So the science ship will pop out a little bit later.
Research concluded.
Proton launchers. These energy projectiles consist of tightly concentrated protons, capable of causing immense damage to the hull of enemy ships. Gateway travel allows our ships to travel through gateways, and the quantum catapult. The upgraded protons, we could actually get them reduced building cost. Oh, that would be a nice one, but that isn't one of the repeatable expensive ones. Let us actually get gateway travel. That will allow us to activate these gateways, and then we will see that those are the only two gateways. After that, we will have access to constructing our own gateways, so I can do away with my piracy patrols. I could actually start combining all my piracy patrol fleets into a single fleet for when this resolution passes. I could do a mercenary fleet entirely of corvettes. Alright, I now should get my influence back, because we now have a full-blown bulwark here. Let's check out the bulwark. I believe this is for them. They gain FTL inhibition as a technology, and Star Hold and Planetary Shields are automatically researchable. My modifiers is the ability to upgrade starbases is cheaper and faster. If my relay network connects to them, I get an overall crime and stability modifier. And friendly ships in their system have extra shield hit points. Double shield hit points. Good. I'm mainly happy about the influence coming back. Rayan refugees arrive from the Hithian Confederation. They've settled on New Coventry. The Rayan were the empire that imploded over here. Where did they pop up? Ah, one of them popped up as an entertainer. Alright, they were cybernetic, quick learners, nomadic, enduring, and resilient. And look at that, they had a ring world preference. Yeah, of course, their origin was ring world, shattered ring world origin, and the Cybrex, the Primal Awareness, the Cybrex 2.0 took them over. That does remind me, though, there was someone that I did not have information on yet. Yeah, the United Uberic Pact. Their origin is prosperous unification, so they just changed governments or were subject of a liberation war, but it didn't change their origin. There was another, the Awoken. Still unknown origin, our intel hasn't risen enough. Let's see if we can actually see them now. Yeah, they have one system here with one planet and apparently only 6 pops. Adjacent to the Fallen Empire. Surprisingly enough, they have not been assaulted because of it. Hopefully they will expand quickly to these 2 systems, and there's one they can inhabit over there, so if they do lose that system, they aren't obliterated.
The special project has concluded.
Likely due to the vessel being a civilian transport, the shipboard databases were not scrubbed. Okay, this is the same dialogue you get every time you do this. We got cross-model standardization as a research option. Let's look at that real quick. It hasn't... oh, it's the robot modification points. Excellent! So, passing it up did not mean I am risking losing it. And he should be returning back to position to build a hyper relay. And as a matter of fact, this guy next month should be eligible to build one. Hithian will guarantee the independence of League of Themisto. I could really be raking in the influence if I decided to declare some rivalries. Alright, let's go ahead and get started on a hyper relay. Oh, no, I do not have the... okay, so I'll have to wait another month. Resistance is frugal. Our people take great comfort in the strength of the bulwarks that guard our planets, and view them as vital to ensuring a more prosperous future. So this boosts our defense army health and allows defense armies to generate unity. So my unity output should increase next month a little bit. Right now we're getting 2711 and a half. We'll see what it is in June. Oh, and this science ship still has not made an appearance. Ah! That is why the science ship is not visible yet, because all the upgrades and the reinforcements are queued up first. One battleship is about to be done. It will spam through the upgrades, and after it is done with the upgrades, or midway through the upgrades, it'll turn out the science ship. Actually, let's have it move the science ship up a little bit. Nah, you know what? Let's leave it in the middle. Let's leave it exactly where it is. I did move it up 1, but we'll leave it where it is for the most part. We need to get the patrol fleet It's upgraded and back out patrolling right now. Oh, we have a new proposal. Repeal the pan-galactic recycling initiatives. The Awoken don't like it. Isn't it nice to have things? While protecting the environment is clearly important, the empires of the galactic community should be trusted to make their own decisions. No. The empires that are part of the galactic community should get together and decide what is a standard for it. It's called Democracy in Action. Alright, 2711.59 is changing to 2817.57. So we gained over 100 from defense armies. Our consumer goods have tanked. Now, I should be able to get started on this hyper relay. After you finish that one, we should get our final one in the Gorham system. We will put it on this side. And once we get the one in the Gorham system, we are connected to them. I think I am going to go ahead and get one in the Elon system after that, before I backtrack to go through Plessis and along this patrol route to get back to Almac with this one. And once he's done basically putting a highway straight through my territory, I think I can... I'm not going to worry too much about a hyper relay on this side. I may do one in Ponel and Telassus because of the wormhole. Just to have a little quick hyper relay there. And I believe here in Ponel... Actually, no. I don't think I'm going to bother with a hyper relay network. Yes, I will. I'll put a short hyper relay there to Telassus. But when I get gateway construction, I'm going to put a gateway in Panel so that I can quickly jump to Panel. But the gateway and hyper relay together should form a connection, I believe. Sol is also going to have a gateway, and any place that I currently have trade hubs, and that will do away entirely with my need for patrols. You know, I believe after I get these holotheaters up and running, I am going to at least temporarily go with industrial segments on St. Yegorov to help make up with my consumer good deficit. I'd only need like maybe one or two, and then eventually I could switch them to research segments when I get my consumer goods under control. But adding more research segments right now while I'm already in a deficit is a very bad idea. Because that's just more jobs that will use consumer goods. So as a matter of fact, yeah, it's still a colony designation right now. I can just switch it to industrial world. That will cut down on their mineral usage, at least. And I don't know, you know, the amount of research I'll be getting out of the other areas may be sufficient. I could keep a couple of those ring world segments as different. Let's see. Let's go back to that. We've already got 2 dedicated to research. I could make 1 industrial, and then perhaps the other to actually be commercial. We have San Lucas, Al Nucara. So yeah, I could make Spring a commercial and make, or or even agricultural, but I don't think I'm going to need agricultural. I've got enough agricultural worlds. But yeah, I think I could make Spring a commercial district, or commercial segment. I mean, I am going to have plenty of research, I believe, when most of my colonies are fully developed and my megastructure is up and running. Of course, it's going to take at least 10 years for that megastructure to be giving me any benefit. And that's once I start building it. The first 5 years you spend constructing the base gives no benefit until it's upgraded.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Manifest destiny. We must have 2 courage to seize our fate and make true what was always meant to be. We must have the courage to seize our fate and make true what was always meant to be. Alright, we have reduced empire size from Pops. Still do not have Resort World. So we are going to get Psionic Theory next. It will only take 5 months. Reduced empire size from Pops will save a little bit of... We'll see what it does to our empire size when it actually kicks in. Right now we're at about 1080. We'll probably be higher than that by the time we get to that point, because we are still building districts and populations are still growing. Commonwealth of Man is guaranteeing the independence of the Alvathari. League of Brian States is guaranteeing the independence of the Alvathari. They don't appear to be losing territory. Oh. He is 21 days out. Let's just go ahead and cancel his current orders, so we can queue up exploring to there. Getting to there should get me sight on all the remaining systems. And then from there, we can return to Cybrex Alpha. And that means, actually we don't need to return to Cybrex Alpha at this point, because Cybrex Alpha, we're only going to have 2 research segments. So I actually need to move the Earhart to assisting research there. I'm not sure where he's going to return to, but probably to Blorgsbane. That will get me a scientist near, if I need it nearby there. The other scientist, when they finish this area, will probably return down to Almac or one other area where I might keep fleets parked. Got a favor from the Awoken already. One per month. So in about 15 months, by about 2308, we should finally know what their origin is considered. Alright, they have closed their borders to us. We don't have an embassy with them. They are now suspicious of us. I have a feeling we are going to become rivals.
Ship upgrades applied.
The science vessel is finally turned out. That should mean 4th Fleet. No, it's still awaiting a battleship. 3 more months. So January is when this fleet will be ready to move out to Haldus in preparation for going to Borobo.
A new world has been colonized.
Spring is now colonized. And I do believe we are going to work on a robotics assembly plant first. Which reminds me, you are a colony. I never assigned what this one was churning out. And yes, we are going to go with the synthetic workers, I think. Because they do get a 5% resources from jobs, and that will help them with industrial jobs. I am going to need to churn out for SPO ones eventually to be the entertainers. But yeah, we'll just start with them. 2 more months and 4th Fleet will be ready to move. Looks like 2nd Fleet will be ahead of it. I'll go ahead and tell this Hubble to go ahead and follow 2nd Fleet. Yeah, it would take them 3 months to make it to there. It'll take them less time than that to actually start following them because they'll intercept them somewhere around here.
Research concluded.
Psionic theory. The mind is in many ways a reflection of the universe itself, a microcosmos. All species may not reach this insight, but their minds are tools greater than any other. We are currently at 1089. We'll see how it changes next month. We have the option to create a penal colony. Not something that I actually need. None of these others really scream out at me, unfortunately. Regenerative hull tissue might be one to knock out. I don't know. Let's go with the collective self. No. That's actually statecraft. The penal colonies and the Paradise Dome, of all things. None of these are new worlds. I think the Paradise Dome may be the final research. It may be a dead-end tech, so we will remove it. Well, I know Create Penal Colony is. Even if I don't make one, let's get it off the list. And it is a rare tech. It does have value. And in January, it already updated. So we lost 80 points of empire size. So our technology cost is still almost doubled. I'm ready to tell 4th Fleet to head that way, but I'm actually going to tell it to follow. Where is the fleet? They're so close together I can't see the little targeting thing. We're going to have it follow 2nd Fleet. And after we're both in position, let's see, 2nd Fleet, 6 months from now. So in July, they will all be in position. I'll be able to assign admirals to them and prepare to take on the T-Yankee Matriarch. Pirac have entered into a migration treaty with the Fire Tribes of Kel. Uberic Alliance broke theirs with the League of Brian States. That also reminds me, I forgot to begin upgrading 2 new star bases. Where do I want them? I want one in the Telesia system, simply because it is at a wormhole. Oh, and I had neglected to upgrade those. So, as you can see, it only cost me 60 to upgrade this now. Where do I want another one? Guthrie Maelstrom. So we can get another black hole observatory going. And I realize I no longer have a crew quarters here at Earth.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Habitat expansion. Our early habitats were primitive things compared to the efficient designs we can now develop. So we can get the upgraded a starbase building, the alloy processing facility. Alloys from the surface are further processed in orbit, creating unusable materials from what would otherwise be wasted byproducts. And the orbital logistics system. Now this actually tells me the planetary modifier. For some reason this one is not listing the planetary modifier, but I believe it's going to be the same thing. We are still upgrading ships. So let's get the improved cruiser hull points. It'll take 8 months to get that. We won't quite have it before this fight engages, I think. But we'll get close. Having more hit points for our cruisers would be great. Now, to our habitats. That becomes a decision for the habitat. So upgrading the habitat, it only costs 25 influence, but 1,000 alloys takes 2 years. It upgrades it to an advanced habitat, changes the size to 6. So I would be able to get 2 additional districts. I believe it would also allow a further upgrade in the central control, which might give me the additional building slot I need to have 2 of each type of refinery. But that's something that will take a while because of the influence cost, if nothing else. Although the alloy cost is not far behind, while I am attempting to upgrade ships and build hyper relays and other things. Usually by this point in the game, as I said, I made some bad decisions, but I also did have a fairly poor start. But usually by this point in the game, my resources should be all about equivalent of my energy credits. 2K, nearly 2K in every one of these categories. And I would have about half of that for these. I should be getting about a K in consumer goods and alloys a month. The holdup on these is mainly due to minerals. I haven't really been building industrial districts as much as I can, because I do have planets with a large amount of industrial districts that they will be building, and I have begun adding them in. Yeah, this one will be done in 2 months, and I'm slowly getting my consumer goods deficit under control as I get more consumer good cost. And again, there are things I can do to adjust this. I mean, I did change all of my policy to boost the happiness of my people a little bit early, I think. Oh, the Copernicus has already made it back? I didn't even... Wait a minute. Oh, no, the Copernicus was a different one. That was the one from that was over Cybrex Alpha. So we do now have sight on all of that. And you should be... Oh, you have no orders. Now I will be telling you to return home. Yeah, I sent the wrong one there. This one was supposed to be going to Blorgsbane. The Copernicus was supposed to be assisting research. So it's usually at this point in the game my quarterly Empire maintenance starts taking a lot less time because there's not much I have left I can do on quite a few of my planets. If I look at the population here, it's just going to be a little bit of deciding if I am still churning out a particular robot. Now that I cannot easily resettle robots, I'm not going to be producing robots for other planets to shift them off-world because I can't resettle them. They are now synthetics. So I will only be producing robots that I feel could replace workers here more effectively, like these guys. They're better at both the Unity and the amenities. And I will go back and test and see if I can get technician robots now to replace these guys, but that will probably wait until I get them a further upgrade. Once I get more modification points, I plan on giving them both superconductive and the one that my workers have, the additional 5% from efficient processors, so they will have a 20% bonus. Then they will be more than likely the ones chosen for the job. But yeah, quite a few of my worlds are pretty much capped on development at this point. This one, my holdup is crystals. This one, my holdup is volatile motes. So, but other than that, there's not really much else I can do on these worlds. I'm holding off on upgrading this one because I'm already in a deficit for consumer goods. But yeah, I'm getting to the point now where there isn't really much I can do on my monthly thing for quite a few worlds because they are finally fully developed. And I do have a little bit of alloys, but I don't think that's enough to reinforce First Fleet. No. Because First Fleet, I think, is only missing the 2 battleships. And they are expensive. And that does remind me, though, on Kazoo here. Yeah, it's fairly cheap to upgrade this. So I can go ahead and start an upgrade on both Kazoo and Limsa. Not downgrade. Upgrade. Start an upgrade on both of these. Since they are border systems, I will probably give one of these, probably Kazoo, a crew quarters and move First Fleet over there.
Research concluded.
Penal colonies. Through the development of special penal worlds, criminals can be rehabilitated through honest, hard labor. Some may be in need of permanent rehabilitation. Okay, we still do not have the resort world, but we do have nutrient replication, more food from jobs, more food from star-based constructions. Another rare tech, although, let's see, about a year for that one, a little under a year for this one. And this one is new worlds, and the extra habitability would be nice. But as I said before, I recommend always going for the rare techs unless it's something absolutely critical you need. Because the chances of them showing back up again, you saw how long it took me to get Psionic Theory to reappear. As you clear more and more things out of the list, there are, the rarity of things drops. Because if there are less choices, yeah, it's going to be more likely to show up. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this one, even though I'm not really in a critical food situation. This is a rare tech, and it is also a dead-end tech, so it shouldn't show. It should clear something from the choices. Now, just to show, that's actually it's easier to go backwards from Earth. There we go, Mars. Penal colony. Create penal colony. Planet size is greater than or equal to 15. Yeah, I could make this a penal colony for 1,000 unity. But I want this to be a resort world, not a penal colony. I don't need a penal colony, honestly. Not with the way my current empire is set up. I have no issues with crime. We'll be getting gateway travel next month. To Second Hive are rivals of the Yvzorak. Yvzorak will probably return the rivalry shortly if they aren't already rivals.
Research concluded.
We have another envoy with the Awoken. And again, I wish the pop-up about envoys would actually bring up the Empire. We're about 7 months away from having the intel we need from them. Gateway activation. The ability to reactivate the derelict gateway stations that can be found scattered throughout the galaxy has the potential to dramatically shorten travel times. Oh, there we go. We are going straight to gateway construction. It will take me 2.5 years, but after it is completed, I can do away with my piracy patrols when I start building gateways. And by then, I should have my network done enough that I can focus on building the gateways instead of building hyperlane networks. And if I recall correctly, the gateways do not require influence. They require unity, just like the other megastructures. And I wish the hyper relays and the habitats and the orbital rings all required unity instead of influence, just like the other megastructures. Now, since we have the gateway activation, I am going to take... Why do I have 2 science ships here? Oh, the Copernicus is on its way to Chor's Compass. Yeah, he's moving down to research that. How long far out are you? You're 8 months. Alright, we're going to have you... Well, I'll probably have this guy available for that too. I'll wait until this guy's closer to decide. Once he gets over to Telesis. Actually, no, we're going to change our mind. I'm going to have the Noble be the one to come down here and assist research. And I am going to take... the Copernicus and send it here. Requires activation by upgrading the gateway. Does it have to be in our system? It hadn't had to before. Maybe I have to let it progress a month. But yeah, I think I will send him this way for now. Enter orbit. Let it progress a day or two. The megastructure requires activation by upgrading the gateway. And And it also said no known destinations. I'll let it progress an entire month. Oh, the Vingralium Trium are back. Oh, look. They want the same deal. Not interested. Move along. Tilanesti Hive is in the non-Grusha pact with the Tezekian Hive. So apparently I can't activate the gateway in their system. I don't believe. I'll let it progress an entire month to be sure. Yeah, I don't have the option. So we are going to go back to having this guy be the one to assist research because he's closer. And we are going to go back to having, let's see, the Hubble. We're actually going to put him in the Hubble. The Copernicus was that ship. The other one that is traveling is the Noble. We are going to pull the one out of the Noble for the Copernicus. No, I had that backwards. We are going to put him back in the Copernicus. We are going to have the one in the Noble come to the Hubble. And we are going to tell the Noble to enter orbit of Blorgsbane. It is done. Today we present the galaxy with one of our grandest accomplishments yet. The joining of our hyper relay network with that of our friends, the Fire Tribes of Kel. Lavish ceremonies have been held throughout the United Nations of Earth, unanimously heralding this proud new link we share. It is said that for a moment, all petty jealousies have been forgotten, all apathies and indifference cast aside. Blended with this sense of pride and ambition is a shared confidence in the days to come. Working side by side, we have torn down a barrier we once thought insurmountable, ushering in a new age of mutual prosperity and friendship. So that means, yeah, they must have built there. So they're actually the ones who completed the network. I wonder what that does to the opinion. Is there an opinion bonus for us having a hyper relay connection? I don't see one. Maybe it'll show up next month. We have connected our capital to that of the Fire Tribes of Kel through a hyper relay network. We are just a few months away, maybe about a year, from connecting ourselves to the Pirac. And then I think I am already in the process of doing this one. Yeah, I'm just two more away. Yeah, there's the Vingralian Trium on their way back through. Okay, if the Hubble has no orders, that means they have ceased to follow the fleet. Alright. Why have you ceased to follow the fleet? Where is my fleet? There's my fleet. Why did you cease to follow my fleet? Now, if we go back to the Hubble, let us make sure that they have not also ceased to follow. Yeah, they're still following the fleet. They're a month away, a month behind them. Wait a minute. Do you see this crap? I told them to follow Second Fleet. Oh, I see why they ceased to follow. There's a military station in here. In that case, before you go back to following First Fleet, take out that pirate station. You go to passive, so you will follow them the correct route. We've gained a favor with the Pirac. Second Fleet is in position. I've got to wait for the other fleets to come up, but I'm going to go ahead and contact the curators before I do my quarterly maintenance. Tell us about the mysteries of the universe. There are exceedingly powerful entities lurking within certain star systems in our galaxy. At great cost in both lives and resources, Curator agents have painstakingly gathered knowledge that should make these beings easier to deal with the next time you encounter them. So there's only 4 left: the Void Spawn, the Enigmatic Fortress, the Stellar Devourer, and the Tiyanki Matriarch. Magnificent, is she not? A wizened old matriarch, her hide bleached and hardened by the eons. Her tentacles capable of snapping the hulls of battleships like oyster shells. Decades ago, our researchers heard rumors of a captain sworn to hunt the matriarch to the ends of the galaxy. However, considering her continued existence, we cannot imagine he met with success. Why is the matriarch so much larger than other Tiyanki? Her incredible size is an anomaly, to be sure. We believe the matriarch is a wanderer from another galaxy in deep space, where a species of Tiyanki far greater in size and strength diverged evolutionarily from the Tiyanki found in our own. Of course, it is also possible the matriarch is simply suffering from an advanced form of gigantism, though this would fail to explain her extended lifespan. What do you know about the captain hunting the matriarch? Very little. It is quite possible the captain chased the matriarch here from another galaxy, though why one would be foolish enough to challenge a creature capable of destroying entire fleets with just one vessel is beyond us. Tell us how to defeat it. The matriarch is formidable, but not indestructible. While her armored hide protects her from a wide range of projectiles, she carries with her a remarkable weakness. There is a massive proton torpedo lodged in her back, a wound from a recent battle that has healed poorly. While seemingly defective, our scans of the torpedo suggest it can still be detonated, if agitated with a specific energy pulse. We will transmit the details to you now. And I was not done talking to you about the Tiyanki. How would our current fleet fare against it in battle? Yours is a mighty fleet, comparable to some of the greatest armadas recorded in the annals of the Curator Order. Victory is certainly within your reach. Now we might actually go take on the Enigmatic Fortress afterwards. But I would be taking all 4 of my fleets that way, and before all 4 of my fleets diverge from my fleet territory, I need to deal with the raiders on my border. Alright, so we have a 25% damage bonus against the Tiyanki Matriarch. As soon as our fleets get fully in position, we are going to engage in this battle. But I have my quarterly maintenance to do.
Engaging hostile station.
This should be fairly quick. Of course, I will take a little damage because I do. This system nullifies shields. Yeah, we took a little bit of damage, I believe. 4th Fleet has destroyed the pirate station. I got a little bit of minerals and a little bit of energy credits. Well, no, I take that back. They had no weapons, so we're fine. League of Brian States and the Hithians are in a non-aggression pact. So now I am 5 days away. Oh, that's still the pirate station attack. Yeah, 2 months. So it'll be for the this ship to catch up. Be 3 months, but it doesn't have to be there. So in about 2 months, I will be ready to take on the matriarch. Hithian or non-aggression with the Tezekians.
We are being hailed.
Darbalin would like a migration treaty, yes.
Construction completed.
Guthrie Maelstrom. First thing I want is the Black Hole Observatory. Yeah, about 30k in fleet strength here. So let's go ahead and pull some generals, or some admirals. Which admirals do I want? Evasion and fire rate. Yeah, we want to take Franz of Blue. And for the other fleet, we want Zazul Ilu Huizinu. And now that we have them, Second Fleet will lead the way into Vorbo. It's going to take about a month before we get into the system.
Completed.
The Talasis starbase. Where did I put that one? Oh, yes. So for this one, I believe we'll do a listening post first, and then we'll add some hangar bays. This is going to be a military starbase. Improved cruiser hulls. Advances in building techniques will allow for the construction of sturdier and more durable cruisers. Oh, we got the advanced cruiser hulls. Synth leaders. L-Gate Insight. Zero months remaining. Does that mean I'll automatically get it? Oh, battleship reduction. It would take a year to get that. A year to get the advanced cruiser. And as I said, these rare ones are the ones worth doing first. If I do the L-Gate Insight, it'd only take 8 months, but I'm not that worried about pushing L-Gates yet. So we are going to get the advanced cruiser hulls. That's even more hull points for our cruisers, increasing their survivability. Here we go. A creature of legend swims langoriously between the gas giants in the Borbo system. Larger than any T-Yankee on record. Indeed, larger than any of our projections could have allowed for. A space whale of impossible proportions seems to have made her nest here. With tentacles longer than a United Nations of Earth battleship, this magnificent matriarch's glowing hide stands out startlingly against the void of space. She is old, remarkably so. A veritable ancient covered end to end in battle scars and strange growths. A gigantic unexploded proton torpedo is lodged in the venerable creature's back, and the fractured remains of ships in the system speak of what manner of fate befell any vessels that strayed too close. Was looking to see if they actually have the proton torpedo sticking out of it. I don't happen to see it. It just looks like the same T-Yankee model, just enlarged. Well, here goes. No, don't click on that. Click on that. Engage in combat. After a recent visit of the Orland Memorial Caravan to Earth, it is noticed a number of resources are missing from the Central Reserve. It is suspected that the Orland Memorial Caravan somehow made off with them. They took 200 energy credits. I'm not that upset about it. I mean, it does annoy me that they are thieves, but that's probably a little bit of anger at us for just telling them to move along for like the last 30 years because they haven't had anything of value. They didn't steal anything spectacular, but the fact that they are stealing is annoying.
Engaging hostile forces.
Here we go. It has... Oh, I can't see the values. I actually can't see the values of its armor and such. It just shot at us. Holy crap. Yeah, it took out something's shields with 25% efficiency and then tore up its hull. It looks like I lost a ship already. One of my destroyers got insta-gibbed. But it is going down quick. Prime awareness can now use subjugation on us. We must have lost enough ships that it dropped our fleet strength down. Its Yankee Matriarch is at half. I don't think we're going to get it before I have to stop for my quarterly maintenance, though. We did. Oh, and I accidentally advanced a day. Oh well. We did get it. Our victorious fleet circles the dying Yankee Matriarch, her glowing flesh scored by countless blast marks. The violent thrashing of her tentacles, still trying to grasp at nearby ships, first slows, then draws abruptly to an end. At last she expires, the ancient matriarch laid to an end, like her would-be hunters before her. At last! Or so it had seemed! Our fleet captains are reporting strange movement coming from the belly of the beast. Something is about to emerge. From the belly of the beast, a mysterious vessel covered in viscous fluid and damaged by digestive juices blasts its way out of the corpse of the fallen Yankee Matriarch. Our fleet stands at the ready, but the ship immediately powers down its weapons and engines after emerging. They are hailing us. Oh, it's a Garanshu. This is Captain Reth Undol of the Ahab. AH-4B, Ahab. Long have I suffered in the caustic bowels of that fell beast. Decades ago I came to hunt it, to repay a debt long overdue. Alas, I could not lay this baleful matriarch to an end. And when she swallowed the Ahab whole, I was certain I would never again see the light of the stars. I am glad to see I was mistaken. For putting my nightmare to rest, I would pledge my life and loyalty, and my ship, to the United Nations of Earth. You may serve us, but we are scrapping your ship. Welcome aboard, Captain. Or just your ship will do. Well, then welcome aboard, Captain. Alright, where's my science vessel? There you are. Survey this system. corpse of the Tiyanki matriarch. Probably when I survey it, it will have the anomaly pop up. So now it is time for Second Fleet to go home. It is time for Fourth Fleet to go home as well. And we'll have a look at the Ahab. Level 3 plasma cannons, level 3 torpedoes, level 5 missiles, level 2 swarmers, and level 3 autocannons. Level 5 armor and shields. That's a pretty impressive battleship. You know, I think First Fleet... Let's go back to First Fleet. First Fleet still has one battleship to build. No longer. What we are going to do is take First Fleet, and is it control click? Yeah, no, it's shift click. First Fleet and the Ahab, and merge the fleets. There must be at least 2 military fleets of the same ship class. Not allowed to merge the Ahab. Okay. Why not? Can I retrofit you? No. Well, it's a nice ship, and I really don't need to upgrade it. I would like to put it into this fleet. Can I add other designs to this? No. The Ahab has to be a standalone fleet. Okay, so let's go back to First Fleet. We are going to build our other battleship. As a matter of fact, I can reinforce that final battleship now. Boom. We'll just have the Ahab go to meet up with them. Actually, we'll send them to Kazoo. You go home. He has ship fire rate, Hell's Heart. When it comes to warfare, this leader is mercilessly obsessive and singular in purpose. And cautious. So he is cautious and obsessive. If he was cautious, how did he get swallowed? That's what I want to know. Alright, so we have the Hubble doing surveys of this system. I might actually consider sending a constructor over this way. I might be able to claim that system. Let's see, how much? It would take 385 influence. Nope, 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 nope. They can have it. The Pirac can have it, because when the Pirac claim it, I will get influence, because they have regulated growth. They can have those worlds. I don't care. Alright, so that was fairly easy. We ended up losing a battleship, a cruiser, 4 destroyers, 8 destroyers and 4 corvettes. So we are going to have some reinforcement to do when our fleets return. It had... Our scientists can make no sense of this, and our scientists can make no sense of this. It had 2 weapons, basically. But it's not telling me what the weapons are. But they were... One of them was very effective against shields. One of them was poorly effective against shields. One of them was very effective against armor. The other apparently bypassed armor, I would have to guess. And both of them were equally effective against hull. So yeah, this I had it wrong. It actually did have good anti-armor weapons. Hull, just cranking up my hull would have been the best thing to do. But actually cranking up your evasion is the best thing to do against the Tiyanki matriarch. Yeah, we missed 13% of our shots. It missed 23. It had no shields. I was very effective for the most part against its armor. Which it had a lot of. It had about 26,000 armor. And it had 180,000 hull. But it has no point defense. So missiles and strike craft are extremely effective against it. And it is now dead. One thing I'd like to point out about the Ahab's ability, Hell's Heart, is that is a reference to Moby Dick. That line was actually quoted in the original Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan. From Hell's Heart I stab at thee. For hate's sake I spit my last breath at thee. But yeah. So we are going to progress on here. I've finished my quarterly maintenance. We should be getting nutrient replication and advanced cruiser hulls this year. Though the sheer amount of damage that vessel did, the Tianki Matriarch did, a little bit of extra hull wouldn't have made a huge difference. Ruins cover Borbo Prime, but oddly the blast pattern seems to indicate that, okay, this is Borbo. I am not going to bother reading that one because we aren't going to be able to get it this game. That is in a territory I cannot claim. I will not have the influence for it by the time the Pirac do. Pirac. I need to figure out how I'm going to pronounce this and stick with it instead of pronouncing it differently every damn time. The light of suns blinds, and the darkness of the void hides. Only when we learned to travel faster than light did we learn just how little the light reveals. Today, we begin to end this amaurosis of ours. The sentry array we prepare to build in the Abriri system will one day become a stalwart panopticon, our eye on every star. The sentry array site is in place, awaiting further development before it can be brought online. Has it been 5 years? Now, I don't believe we need the constructor here. Now. I believe this megastructure will be able to be upgraded. I need 10,000 alloys to do it. So that's going to be a while. So I can move this constructor elsewhere. I can move him back to Earth in orbit of Uranus.
Research concluded.
Nutrient replication. The process of synthetically replicating crops requires a lot of collected waste to create a small amount of produce, but nevertheless provides a significant boost to agricultural output. Still not available. Well, let's get glandular acclimation. And I haven't really been checking to see. Yeah, the Tazekians have finished it, but our Federation has not. No one I have contacted has finished gateway construction. or advanced cruiser hulls. We got a favor with the Granshu. No, I know where I needed to send the Alpha Centauri. I need to start doing orbital rings on other planets. But I need 50 influence for that. Okay. I only need 30 influence to start upgrading the tier of my orbital ring here on Earth. I don't have the rare crystals to build my last hyperlane, so I will start on this. Now, I am curious. I think it originally cost more than 30. I believe the Bulwark discount is affecting the influence cost of that. Well, no, that was... Yeah, that's not considered a megastructure as much as a starbase, I don't think. Let me check the original... Yeah, no, okay. I think it is reducing the upgrade cost. Because I want to say it cost 100 the first time I looked at it. Gained a favor with the Awoken. Which reminds me, I believe we should have sufficient... Yeah, they are considered a prosperous unification. So it gives them a random origin. They still have but one... Well, it says one colony. I believe they only had 6 people last time I checked, and then one colony. Oddly enough, even though their native species is robot, they are not considered a machine intelligence or Gestalt empire. That is because they are a human consciousness uploaded into robots. So they are xenophiles and fanatic materialists. I still don't have the intel to see what my allies think of them joining.
System survey concluded.
So we've completely surveyed this system. Didn't get anything special from the corpse of the Tiyanki matriarch other than the ship. Yeah, there's no relic for defeating the Tiyanki matriarch. Which reminds me, because I advanced a little too far, I forgot to reverse engineer. I'll just wait to do that until we get to the end of this episode. I think I'm going to park this science vessel back at Yilon Station. Hithian have reopened their borders to us. AI is so fickle when it comes to border relations and other agreements. We are capped on food. Well, we could trade food to somebody else. Let's see if the Prime Awareness will trade some food for alloys. Are you interested in food? No, you're not, really. Okay, I'm curious if there's anybody interested in a trade for food. No, they don't really value food either. You know what? Screw it. We'll just sell it. Let's sell 10... well, actually, the best way to do it would be to sell 100 a day. I'd end up selling only 3,000 after 30 days. So I just need to get rid of a chunk of it. We're going to cap back out fairly soon, so I'm going to keep selling chunks of food. There. That will keep us from capping out fairly quickly. And gave us a small influx of energy credits, which I could turn around and use to buy alloys. There, we're halfway to being able to... actually, let's go ahead and buy some rare crystals. I should have bought a larger quantity. I need 20 more. That'll work. So I can go ahead and get started on the final. Oh, I could get started on the Science Nexus as well. Well, I'll get started on the Science Nexus next month, I believe. Because I want to get started on this now. After I finish that, I think I'm going to go ahead and do one in Yilon. And we will put it over here. Am I in position for the Science Nexus? I am. You know what? Let's buy another 125 wouldn't cut it. Let's buy another 250. And go ahead and get started on the Science Nexus, because it'll take a while. Now we still need another 5,000 to reinforce our fleets with the remaining ships. That can wait. It's like I said, I wanted to get some other projects going first.
Research concluded.
My economy's starting to straighten up a little bit now. Advanced cruiser hulls. The latest generation of cruiser hulls have optimized structural integrity fields and improved bulkheads. Alright. We could get the kinetic battery. That is something that won't affect upgrades. The upgrade again to the civilian repli complex, that would cost materials we don't really have. But I believe this is also a required tech to get the further just generic bonus to your commercial goods. But I think we will probably knock out this one for a quick reroll. We'll have it next month. I'm not even going to change scientists at this point.
Construction completed.
Oh, look. We got it right now. Cross-model standardization. Improved production practices allow for greater alterations to synthetic workers without compromising core functionality. I believe we will go for this L-Gate Insight. This resolution is about to pass. Security contractors. Citizen state of Hazuk is in a commercial pact with the Hithians. What will be the next one? Currently, buzzword standardization. One I don't particularly care for, but it'll work. Actually, I could abstain from this and get the minor research sanctions higher up, but that's only really going to hurt the Awoken and the Alvathari and the League of Phemisto. And I'm not interested in them suffering sanctions right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the buzzword standardization. Of course, I could pull my support from that one, and Charter of Workers' Rights would be moved up. That one greatly benefits me because I believe I have one of the highest population. No, the highest populations will belong to the Prime Awareness and the Urzo, followed by the other hives, Tezekian and Tilinesti. Because the Gestalt consciousnesses especially the hive world, organic hives, have a better chance of spamming population. But I'm not sure. Let's actually abstain from this one. Abstain from this one. And Charter of Workers' Rights would be the highest for now. So yeah, let's get it pushed up.
Research concluded.
Glandular acclimation. Through glandular biological tailoring, we can change the environmental tolerance of a species to suit our needs. Zro distillation will allow us to export Zro. I don't think there's any in our territory. Boost a ship fire rate. Let's get the Zro distillation. It is... Actually, no. Let's get the clone army. It is extremely cheap. Even though I don't think we will be using clone armies. Specialized clones that reach adulthood in a matter of months. With natural lifespans of less than a decade, their lack of personal initiative is... No. That's not a technology we're going to bother with. And honestly, I think that should be a dangerous tech and have a crisis on its own of unlocking like a clone revolution. But we will do the Zro distillation, I think. And actually, no, we will ignore this one as well. We don't have psionic people yet. So I guess the one we will get knocked out will be combat training, because it will be fairly quick.
We are being hailed.
A Hithian would like an embassy. I'm all for that. I get more unity per embassy. Which reminds me, how quickly am I going to get my next tradition? Next month. Yeah, actually about 7 days. So we can get... We have 2 more before we complete Unyielding. The finisher for this reduces starbase upkeep. Gives us access to the Martial Alliance Federation type and boost our defense platform cap. So we will pick up Never Surrender. We shall fight on our soils. We shall fight in the heavens. We shall fight in the asteroid belts and in the hyperlanes and in the nebulas. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength among the stars. We shall never surrender. If I could do a Churchill impersonation, that would probably work for that speech. So security contractors passed. What that does is it boosts our trade value, reduces our naval capacity, we had good excess anyway, and gives us access to a mercenary enclave. Yeah, it looks like it just tacks the last one onto the bottom. Well, that's not true because the increased resource storage capacity was one of the earlier ones. It's kind of weird how it organizes those, and I wish it would just sum them all up and list them alphabetically. Now, it's going to be 2 years before the next thing is brought in, and right now it will be Charter of Workers' Rights. If minor administrative sanctions gets higher, I can always pull my support from it from now, because this is the one that I want next for now. Now, as for the Mercenary Enclave, to create a Mercenary Enclave, you need a fleet size of at least 50 and a general. And then you can turn that mercenary fleet into an enclave if you have a system with a moon or world that does not have a habitat over it. I don't want it in the Sol system. How about Bernard's Star? Yeah, we could put a mercenary enclave here in Bernard's Star. Or better yet, in an area that is rife for piracy, like Gossick. Yeah, we could put one in the Gossick system. That would give us a little bit of protection from... or we could put it in the Kazoo system. It would probably appear over that planet or one of the moons. But no, I think actually putting it in the a system that has a risk of piracy breaking out, like Gossick, is a good idea. Because they would fight the pirates. Now we just need a fleet that has a capacity of 50. We could combine some of our patrols at this point and just make it all corvettes. That would probably be the best thing to do, but before I do that, I would like to make sure my piracy is under control. Let's go ahead and advance another day. And I'm going to do my empire maintenance and also look at my trade values. Yeah, the piracy is pretty high right there. I still do need patrols through here. I can probably... No, this area actually has gotten to the point where it needs patrols. I probably need to beef up my patrol fleets. But I am getting close to getting gateway construction. So I think I'm going to hold off about a year until I can start getting the gateways set up to where I no longer need these fleets to patrol. And then I can combine all of my piracy patrol fleets into one large fleet and use it to create mercenary enclaves. Regenerating Flagella, the T'Yanki matriarch threat abolished opportunity. Even with our xenocontamination precautions, something went wrong. As the matriarch Flagella entered Almadine's capital, it somehow got in contact with one of the handlers, and instantly the Flagella started reacting. Pulsating, ripping appendages began growing from the trophy, first forming an indistinct churning mass of flesh. Over time it became more detailed, and to our surprise it assumed the shape of the unfortunate handler. It seemed like the regenerative powers of the matriarch have accepted the DNA of our kind and are now in the process of generating more humans. Use this to feed the onlookers. This will increase the amount of unity the opportunity will produce. Or let the reaction run its course. One high Alvathari pop is created. Let us look at this situation. That is right. That's the reason we hadn't gotten a trophy for it yet. They now, since they added situations, pop in situations. We will cancel the parade, or we will hold a parade permanently enhancing Almadine. Do nothing, encourage it. By encouraging the celebration of this grand feat, we are sure to have more opportunities to make this an event to remember, or we can discourage it. I think we will encourage this. That will speed up how quickly it goes through stages. We will hold a parade permanently enhancing Al-Madain. So, this ought to be interesting to see what happens, letting it run its course. Al-Madain, huh? Where was Al-Madain? and I'm curious why we were taking it there. There'd be an easier way to find this, honestly. There it is. It's in Breglar. I don't have a scientist in the vicinity, so let's move the noble that way. It would take 8 months, but that way we will have a scientist nearby just in case. Or a science ship, at least. Speaking of ships, I forgot to make sure... Yeah, this thing's just about done with its hangar bay. It's going to need another hangar. This one's already queued up everything. It's siphoning quite a few significant alloys. Let's cut out the upgrade real quick to get the alloys back. Now, I would need more rare crystals. So let us purchase some rare crystals. We need 100. So that we can go ahead and get started on a hyper relay in Birkenmar. The way I tried to place it kind of canceled it. I want it there, and then go to Breglar, and we will put it over here. I'm not fond of where the AI decides to place its hyper relays, because as you saw in one of these, yeah, it's like right next to the route there. Oh, they've had a pirate outbreak in Masanisa's demise. Small pirate fleet, though. They don't seem to have any fleets in the area. I could go take care of that fleet. I do have a patrol fleet not too far away. Actually, I think the Ahab could handle it by himself. Yeah, let's have the Ahab divert to here. If they get wiped out before he shows up, it'll cancel his order. I will maintain visibility in this sector because they are my allies, so it won't matter about ships going in transport. Now, let's get back up and keep an eye on this situation. Yeah, it would take about 7 months to advance to the next stage. My science ship should be in the vicinity. I haven't opened a relic box in a while.
Our station is under assault.
Our trade route in the Gaussic system is poorly protected, so we have pirates popping up there. Oh, you poor pirates. A 772 versus a 2.7K. This is not going to be pretty for the pirates. This is not going to be pretty for them at all. I do like some of the random names. Not What It Seems, Lump of Coal, Happy Camper, Lowest Bidder. I'm going to do my Empire maintenance before we watch this fight. So New Coventry has upgraded to where it has 6 slots. I've started another trade district. That does not unlock a upgrade in the Habitat Central Control, which will not give me an extra building slot. Maybe it is either a civic. Let us see if there is a civic regarding that. It might be the origin of Void, the origin that does it, or if we go to society management and let's look at Voidborn. Let's see, that gives you 2 additional building slots. Yeah, and gives you the advanced space habitation, which I've already got. So that's the only way to get additional building slots, is to be Voidborn. I was thinking of getting Grasp the Void when I finish this, but Voidborn might be a good one as well. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to look into that when we get... And it really won't be too much longer. 2 years. We'll have to consider it by then. So I may need to get a third habitat up and running and just specialize each habitat by a strategic resource type. We'll see. But on to the combat. There we go. Let's see if we lose any of our defense platforms here. Trade deal duration with the Pirac has expired. I don't think I'm going to renew it. The hypotheses gave me an additional research option. I might renew that one, but the processors just gave me a little bit more research from stations. Well, now that my jobs greatly outweigh the stations, so it doesn't have as much value. The additional research alternative would be nice to keep, but I may do without that as well. If I do send off the deal, it will be next episode. Yeah, we're bypassing their shields entirely. They are not going to last long. So as you see, actually, if I put defense platforms in all of my systems that have a risk of piracy, for the most part, I could stop the patrols at this point. They did not destroy any of my platforms. They were very effective against the shields, but weak against the armor, never got through to hull. And we bypassed their shields entirely, because it was all missiles and strike craft, and just absolutely devastated their armor and then their hull. They did not stand a chance.
Research concluded.
Combat training. A more extensive training program for new recruits, including realistic combat scenarios. Prepare them for the field. Okay, we still do not have resort worlds as an option. Okay, it just required artificial moral codes, which I believe we have already researched. Yes, we've gotten artificial moral codes. That was all that was really required for it. So, no, it should be popping up. It's just, it's statecraft, not new worlds. That's the reason I'm not getting a good chance for it to pop up. Let's just do another re-roll. Let's go ahead and knock out the Paradise Stone. We'll have it in 6 months. And actually, do I have access to a statecraft person? No. I do have access to a psionics person. Huh. I might be able to trade for a one of them. I'm not sure if the Scholarium Investigator... Yeah, let's just go ahead and put him in here. And put our New Worlds guy in the now vacated ship. I believe it is the Copernicus. Not statecraft. New Worlds. And yeah, let us bring up our contacts. Actually, agreements is the fastest way to get to them. Contact the Pirac. Transfer leader. Alright, we have field manipulation, custom AI assistant, spark of genius, maniacal. They don't really have one that... the spark of genius might be nice, as might the custom AI assistant. But I really don't want to just sit here robbing them of that. Let's see about their trade action. Yeah, this takes an alternative away from them and gives it to me. Let's just do without hindering them at this point. So yeah, we'll just use our Stellarium investigator to get this knocked out a little quicker and see if we can't get it to pop up. The Hubble has nobody in it. Let us put him in the... I mean, the Hubble has... the Noble had nobody in it, and the Hubble was just sitting there. Let's put him... the Hubble is on its way just in case there's something going on over here. Let's just switch where he is. The science team, the Great Pyramid. The science team of the observation station orbiting Jamel 2 have not reported anything substantial in a while. That was until a young scientist stationed on the facility sent in an encrypted message blaming her colleagues of misconduct. The crew have reportedly descended upon the planet and proclaimed the chief scientist as a deity to the locals. Not only that, but they are also made them construct a holy monument in his honor. The resulting pyramid now stands on the planet's surface, the locals worshipping it and present it with offerings. The only option we have is to recall the team, scrap the project, and it throws them back to the previous age. That was Jamel. I have a constructor nearby. He is just about done with the hyper relay. So after I finish the hyper relay, I'm going to interrupt his current order to go back here and rebuild that observation post. But that does alter this society. The Lyrites. If we go to the Lyrites, I don't remember what they were. But right now they were fanatic materialist xenophobes. They are going to become spiritualist. Alright, that hyper relay is up and running. We're going to interrupt your regularly scheduled order to rebuild that observation post. We're going to start that project over. And now we should be getting the bonus from the Pirac by being connected to their capital with a relay network.
Research concluded.
We're connected to the Pirac, to the Jazekian Hive, to the League of Brian States, to the Polysimus Mandate, to the Uko Praknar, the Sondrathan. Elgate Insight 2. Intensive study within the fields of nanomachinery and subspace phenomenon will eventually yield a new Elgate insight into the disabled Elgate mystery. Alright, let's go ahead and research the replicator kiosks. First, was there a Voidcraft? The Citadel. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the replicator kiosks. And we will swap you out. I do not have... Oops. I do not have a... one specific to that. So actually we'll leave you in there because the cyborg ability pretty much matches anybody else we could stick in there right now. Yeah, he has no real modifiers that will help. I do not have a particles or a statecraft to pull one of those two out. And his bonus of 5% would be the exact same as the this scientist, because he's plus 10, minus 5.
Construction completed.
At least one hostile fleet is present in the same system. Oh yeah, we're about to take you guys out. I keep forgetting when I do my regular maintenance to go through my star bases and make sure that they have another construction queued up for when they complete their current one. So October, I really need to pay attention to my star bases. Let's see how well you handle them. I mean, my fleet power is about 4 times theirs. Citizen state of Hazook has declared Tazekian Hive their rival. And I need to do my Empire maintenance real quick. Back to the combat in progress. Alright, got a little bit of alloys and energy credits out of it. Pirates do not generally generate debris. I did take a little bit of damage to hull. No. They never got through my shields. I didn't get damage to anything but shields. Completely obliterated them. I was looking at the what I did originally. And I forgot to reinforce a fleet. Oh my! The Racket Industrial Enterprise has finally made it back into our territory. It is not a relic, it is an antique. Just think. It survived this many centuries already, built to last. What can you offer us? 150 exotic gases for 15 dark matter? Oh yes. Look at these exotic gases. Effervescent. Compressed to maximum density for logistical convenience. Highly volatile. Careful. You desire them, do you not? For your shields, your plasma cannons. They can be yours. For 15 dark matter, certainly we will accept your deal. A pleasure, a joy to deal with the United Nations of Earth. We will visit again. I have not seen them in a long time. I mean, it has been over 50 years since they were in my territory. They must have taken their time on the other end of the galaxy. And I wonder where the third one is. Because you have the Vingralium Trium, the Racket Industrial Enterprises, and there is a third one whose name I cannot recall. And all of them come out of Chor's Compass. And I never saw the third one in this game. So they must have already been out moving around. I don't know if I would have gotten a notification if someone else had blown them up.
Construction completed.
Earth Station has upgraded an orbital ring tier. Oh, it doesn't take that much to get it to tier 3, which requires Citadel technology. We can now put a crew quarters here at Earth. Stratospheric ionization elements that gives bonus to energy credits. The mega refiners that boost minerals from miners. It does have a upkeep. Both of these have a strategic resource upkeep. So yeah, I think the first thing we will put here at Earth Station. See, the Giga Mall boosts trade value. Orbital filing system boosts unity from bureaucrats. That one I may end up putting here. Because this is a bureaucratic center. But yeah, we can get a crew quarters here first. As far as the new module, the habitation module, the influence cost is being affected by the reductions to cost. The habitation module would add an extra district to Earth. And of course we can do planetary defense. I wonder if I can have multiples of these, so I could add 2 additional districts or 4 additional districts to a planet. I think I actually will queue that one up next. But for now I need to get the crew quarters because First Fleet should be in orbit of Earth. Yes. So I want to reduce their upkeep for now. A bright day greeted the packed crowds on Al-Mada'in today as the procession carrying our proof of the destruction of the Tiyanki matriarch traveled through the planet's cities. The parade's progress was broadcast throughout our empire to billions of viewers. The matriarch's flagella already seems to have become a staple of human culture, inspiring artists and creators across the United Nations of Earth. After finishing the world tour, the matriarch flagella was placed in a specialized display at the center of the capital to inspire generations to come. This was a good day for all humans. Matriarch flagella modifier giving the following: +1 monthly organic plop assembly, stability -5, but we gained unity. So we have Bulwark of Harmony. All organisms, no matter how perfect, must rely on an immune system to ward off the threat of outside disease. Our society is no different. While in a defensive war, ship build speed and ship fire rate is increased. While in a defensive war with another empire, ship build speed is increased. In addition, the ship fire rate is increased within my borders. Now, is that just in the defensive war or always? We'll have to see. But that gives me yet another Ascension perk. Voidborn is really tempting. Galactic Wonders. Ooh. The Arcology Project. Galactic Contender, Eternal Vigilance. Grasp the Void. We have a lot of options now. Engineered evolution would give us more gene modification points. That puts us on the biological ascension path. Flesh is weak, reduces robot upkeep, and increases mechanical pop assembly speed. Mind over matter gives us the ability to get telepathy. Galactic Contender boosts our diplomatic weight. It improves the damage we would do to the gate builders, awakened empires, and fallen empires. Now the boost to diplomatic weight will make a huge impact in the council as well as in our own Federation should we change the vote weighting. Oh, we actually have access to Xeno compatibility. Detox allows terraforming of toxic world terraforming candidates. I don't believe I have any. Xeno compatibility I usually get when I finish Harmony. What it does is it causes, it boosts immigration pull and causes occasionally for species to crossbreed and create half-breeds. And those half-breeds, as I showed in a previous episode, merge the traits and gain an additional trait point. So the more that your species breed amongst themselves, the more trait points you end up with overall for the species. Yeah, because it gives them +1 maximum trait points and +1 maximum trait every time that they create a half species. It also boosts population growth if you have multiple species and boosts your overall immigration pool. But I'm going to hold off to get that one to when I finish Harmony. For this one, yeah, we're not going to get the Colossus project or evolution, or we're not really going to go in an ascension path this time either. We have started building wonders. The ability to make a matter decompressor would greatly help me out with my minerals output. And I could make an additional ring world or even a Dyson sphere. The Arcology project would allow us to turn a planet into a Euchemopolis. That pretty much gets rid of generator mining and agricultural districts on the planet and just makes it a production heavy place. These are actually your production powerhouses over a ring world with industrial districts. I think we're going with Galactic Contender. As much as I would like Galactic Wonders to make the matter decompressor, in theme with the fact that we are becoming unyielding and that we are about to start having to deal with things like the gate builders and all, we might choose Galactic Contender, or I might save this one for when I get the tech that gives me an Ascension perk. Yeah, let's go ahead and do Galactic Wonders. Megastructures are rightfully regarded as the wonders of our time. The scope of such a project would have been unimaginable mere generations ago. So matter decompressor is physics, as is Dyson sphere. Ring world will be engineering. So we are going this route. That gives us the access to 3 additional wonders we can research to make.
Construction completed.
Alright, my observation post is back online. It's back to passive observation.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Alright, we've connected to the Hazar, the Hithians, the Verzak, the Garanshu, the League of Phemisto, and the Darbalans. We got a favor from the Darbalans. Idyllic architecture. With the latest advances in architecture, landscaping, and holographic technology, we shall build the homes of the future. Still do not see it on here. So let us knock out the advanced food processing. Climate optimization stations become available. I thought they were already listed on there. Let me look at the orbital ring for Earth again. No, they weren't. I thought they were listed on here, but they are not. Replicator kiosks. These kiosks can replicate any pre-approved object if its pattern has been stored within their memory banks. Another L-Gate insight. The Mega Cannon. Reduction to the cost and increase to the build speed of battleships. Ring World is now a fixed option. A fully functional habitable ring world section, complete with an active biosphere that is ready for settlement. Now, building a ring world gets rid of everything else in the system. So I would want to put it on a system, in a system that really doesn't give me any real value. Something like Cahanus. Nothing but asteroids really there. Ring world, 3 years to get that. But it's fixed on there, so I'm going to hold off on it. We could get this other L-Gate insight. I believe we shall. That'll take only a year. That will get us 1 insight away from completing the L cluster. And we can actually get that by spending money at the curator order. Of course, just because we get our L-Gate oh, I just thought of something. What if I had used a constructor here? Requires activation by upgrading the gateway. No, because I don't own it, I can't activate that gateway. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the L-Gates. Yeah, I don't have an L-Gate in my area, so I wouldn't activate it now anyway, and I still don't feel I'm prepared for what comes through the L-Gates. It's going to have to wait until after I get to here, but I wouldn't mind going ahead and getting the L-Gate insights completed. Hithians are in a research agreement with the Tilinesti.
Research concluded.
Gateway construction. The construction of new gateway stations enables us to build a fast travel network that could revolutionize interstellar travel. So the quantum catapult is now an option. There we are. This artisan output plus 10%. I had to have gotten that tech I just researched. Let's go back to engineering. replicator kiosks for that to be available here. Now, as much as the, oh yeah, here's the Dyson sphere and the matter decompressor. Both of them would take a while. Though the matter decompressor is kind of a priority because of the fact that it produces minerals. As you see, when I get it up to the first stage, it's 500 minerals, and eventually it'll get up to 2,000. But first we're going to get the artisan output, the predictive consumerism. Now we can actually replace Tetrana with Professor Zarg, because we have a specialist in that field. Now before I click on them, yeah, the one in the Asimov was a little level higher, but I'd like to use Winlet. Oh, we do have a field manipulation guy. There we go. Get them back to researching. So yeah, we're getting some good tech progress now at this point, up to 4K. Technically, it is almost, yeah, see, that's 3K right there. It's almost 5K. You know, it's interesting that we connected with the Hazar and all. That must have been this way, because we haven't built the one at Breglar yet. I just noticed. Oh, and I can send this scientist back to a place. Let's actually send them back to Earth. Let's have them enter orbit of Earth. Actually, let's have them assist research on Earth. He'll gain experience even if he's not actually boosting research on anything. Which reminds me, the one that's kind of sitting over here in Yilon. Let's just... I don't have a scientist in that ship. Okay, we'll just leave that one sitting at Yilon then. Although I should be on the lookout for new scientists. Ones that I want to start leveling up that have the abilities I want. Alright, we're going to activate the Galatron. You reap what you sow. 5,000 alloys. Oh, thank you so much. We'll reverse engineer some arcane technology. That gives me a 10% research speed that we've gotten before for 5 years. We also need to renew the contract with the conglomerated scrappers. And reorganize the Festival of Worlds, I believe, with the Artisan Troop. Now, that I have this 6,000 alloys, he is building the Science Nexus. The Sentry Hub needs 4,000 more before I could start upgrading it. I do have 50 influence. I could start on another orbital ring. That could be... because I don't have the rare crystals yet to build another hyper relay, and they're not that critical anymore now that I have the connections. While it would be nice to speed up my travel down this way, it's not that critical. Let's see. Let's have this guy go to Akatsuki. No, I want to build orbital rings in locations that do not currently have star bases. Okay, that guy's busy. Or actually, were places where I would want to replace the star bases. So I could kind of downgrade Bernard Star and put one over to Bernard Star. Let's see, what is the guy in Earth doing? You are sitting in orbit of Uranus. You research habitations can wait, because I will have a tremendous amount of research from Cybrex Alpha. Let's see about you. Oh, gateways. 75 influence, 2,500 alloys. That's what I need to save up for. I could build an orbital ring. But yeah, I need to save up for the gateway. I just need to wait about 6 months, and I will be able to start building my first gateway here in Earth. And I might put it near the hyper relay. And then my next gateway will probably be Stellaris. Yeah, I'll put one over here. And then we can start building gateways to our planets that have stations, just to cut down on the trade lag. Although if I get rid of the stations over the planets, yeah, sure, I will lose the deep space black sites. But I can put transit hubs on the orbital rings if I need them. So yeah, maybe doing the orbital rings and getting rid of some of our star bases so that we can relocate them to more defensible positions or places that don't necessarily need them. I don't think I can build an orbital ring around habitats, so I would still want stations in locations with habitats. Yeah, we can actually test that. I have yeah, because I believe it is either orbital ring or habitat. Cannot build orbits of planets that are neither colonized nor fully under construction. Cannot build due to existing megastructure. So yeah, I can't build there because there is a habitat. So this place is going to need a gateway to shuffle all of the trade back to the capital without a risk of piracy. If I do that, it will get rid of all the piracy through there. So yeah, I think I will save up for the gateways. But it has been another 5 years. So we will call this an episode. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.